Hey guys, I think Clash got a bit popular again.
Oh, Daddy B! What are you gonna do, Daddy B? Daddy B, you're making another Great America's kill, Daddy B! Daddy B, how are you so nonchalant, Daddy B?
What the fuck am I watching?
Oh, well, it can't be that good of a game. Is it really that good?
Oh! What the fuck are you saying? Stop! What are you saying?
As of right now, the smelliest of men all over seem to have one game, one special game, among the horde of other games on their phone. Clash Royale. One of the main games in the Supercell lineup. Objectively speaking, Supercell has created some of, if not the greatest mobile games of all time. The run these games have had from 2013 onward is something incomprehensible to the carbon copy Unity clone that I keep seeing in fucking adverts. The era of mobile games from 2013 to 2016 was genuinely a great time for gaming as a whole, being home to some of the most iconic games in internet history. Games like Subway Surfers, Jetpack Joyride, and Candy Crush, the game that's kept alive by 50-year-old grandmas. One of the greatest games to come out of this generation, however, was a game from Supercell called Clash of Clans. And oh boy, was this game influential. Think about any game where you build an empire, or a kingdom, or a city, or fucking whatever, using time, money and resources. Any game whatsoever has had their game made from the impact of Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans was the spark for Supercell's success. The characters, stories, and general identity of Clash of Clans created the franchise everyone knows Supercell for. A world consisting of goblins, robots, giants, attractive women, dragons, and an extremely attractive woman in a medieval world where, for some reason, cars and skyscrapers haven't been made. Despite the various robotic and magical advancements of this society, does it make sense? No. Does it really matter? No. Moving forward from Clash of Clans to the great year of 2016. At this time, this frog was the funniest thing on the planet, and the commentary era was at its peak performance, with Leafy bullying children and Pyrocynical putting on the fakest deep voice known to man.
Got a lot of comments.
Straight out of the Supercell oven, we were blessed with a meal that combined yesterday's meal with more spices, sugars and sauces to create a smelly goodness that we know today as Clash Royale. My smelly self entered this game in Prime 2016, played until 2017, then dropped it until this year, and oh boy, is this game fucking annoying. And I'm already fucking versing an over-leveled twat.
What am I supposed to do? Go over there!
I really like this game because it makes me verse very fair opponents. That's not gonna need... Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Fuck! No! Oh, screw this shit. I'm just going in. Way down there, mate. Don't kill me, please.
Please! I don't want to lose on the first game.
We're doing not quite that bad. I think if we lock in, it can be quite good.
Get it, please. No.
Oh, I just need to get to the next fireball, and oh no, they're gonna make it. Yeah, I'm BMing you. Screw you, mate. Oh, the game's a bit good. And a little bad. Quite good in the sense that it hasn't had any major changes in its entire existence. From 2016 onwards, Clash has maintained its same playstyle that's made it so popular and addictive. In Clash, you create a deck of 8 cards made to accommodate any sort of strategy or style that represents you best. With this deck, you play on a board with 3 towers to defend. These 2 towers have lower health than this big tower and shoot arrows faster than how this tower shoots his cannon. With this deck, you and your 3 towers are expected to take over the towers of your other opponent, with your victory being determined on taking more towers than what your opponent has taken. That's a fucking mouthful, mate. This is what Clash is, and has been for 9 years, and what makes this game inherently addictive. The creation of this game, however, was quite interesting. At the time of the development of Clash, Supercell was a smaller company with lower to no bureaucracy in their company when compared to how other game companies are run. The first game Supercell started to develop was the massive multiplayer online game known as Gunshine. I am like 40% sure you know what that game is. This game could be played on Facebook with the browser or on mobile. However, it was shortly abandoned because it literally couldn't maintain a proper player base. Supercell's first major release was Heyday, a farming simulator that's quite similar to what you see in Clash of Clans. This game was their first international release and seemed to put Supercell on the board with other big-time developers. From this, we saw the development of Clash of Clans, something we've spoken about before, taking about 6 months to develop and released on the 2nd of August 2012, and in 3 months it became the most profitable app in the US, even the world, I think. After this we got Boom Beach. Who the fuck gives a shit about Boom Beach? Now, I like Boom Beach, but it's not that impactful, I'm gonna be honest with you. Not very impactful as of right now. Lastly, in March of 2016, Supercell released its 4th supported game, Clash Royale, which is what we're looking at in this video. Clash Royale, along with Clash of Clans, popularized Supercell into the mobile giant that we know it for. And as of right now, Supercell's lifeline is inherently dependent on Clash to stay alive. From this point, Clash doesn't receive major changes, it's mostly small updates over time that added new cards, card types, arenas, events, tournaments, balance changes that we'll talk about later, and general gameplay changes that attempted to smooth the flow of the game. While yes, these updates were amazing in popularizing the game and making it better, some updates slammed it further down into the hellhole that it is, making the game slowly degrade over time. Before actually going into these criticisms, however, I find it quite empathetic to at least give credit where it's due, because there are points of this game where the game is actually really good. Firstly, and very obviously, is the visuals. The art style, animations and artwork this game has is really good. The game has a really unique art style to it that makes it stand out among the high poly realistic styles of other games. Because of this, each character design feels extremely unique and recognizable to each individual character. I guess my only criticism for it is that some character animations are animated in what seems to be 24 frames a second, while others are in higher rates like maybe 60. This creates a lack of consistency. However, I can pass this off because the things that have high frame rates are things like evolutions and heroes, which thus allows these characters to be easily identified on the board. The second thing is gameplay, something else very obvious because it's the entire reason behind the game's success. The style of strategy is extremely unique among other strategy games on the Play Store. Decks are amazing, as you can either play a meta deck, like a pussy, or create your own deck that utilizes a strategy that best represents your mindset and capabilities, ultimately made to represent who you are as a person. Apart from that, there's nothing much else really. I mean, all I've been saying here is that the game looks nice and is very fun to play. Apart from that, we can talk about the bad things about this game. This will probably be the longest part of this video. Emphasis on probably. I'm still scripting the video, so I actually don't know. There's 3 main issues that I've seen and formalized for this video. 1, the pay to win nature of the game. 2, the balancing in terms of the actual cards and matchmaking. And 3, Supercell's ears to the fans. These three issues are quite recent and I think a major role in what could destroy the game as a whole, especially now since everyone's playing the game. This issue is something that completely annoys me in games, and is actually connected to the second issue of improper balancing. Contextually speaking, Clash gives various mechanisms to upgrade your decks and towers. Normally this should be done by just playing the game and upgrading through receiving victory chests and coins over time. However, that is not the only way to progress. Like many other smelly games of this decade, you're able to progress up the ladder by buying your way up. You can buy chests to get more coins, cards, and ultimately upgrades to boost you. The Battle Pass gives you a debatable boost among other free-to-play players. Hell, you can even buy legendaries and evolutions. Keep in mind, as a free-to-play player, it takes a really long time to get an evolution. It took me 3 seasons to get 1 Evo Valkyrie, and that's because you only get 2 evolution shards each season. You can get lucky if you find an evolution in a box or something, but it's still going to be horrendously longer than if you just bought your way up. This ultimately creates an unfair advantage for the pay-to-wins. With more upgraded cards and towers, my measly cards will literally do nothing to them, giving them free wins until they meet a higher arena in which they can just still buy their way up. The second issue then, in which the first issue ties into, is balancing. Balancing in 2 respects. Firstly, card balancing, and then secondly, matchmaking balances. On the first level, to give context, certain cards have certain abilities that can be extremely overpowered, if not tweaked and moderated properly. It can be things like being too fast, doing too much damage, having too much health. Because of this, Supercell releases periodic balance changes to try and alleviate any overpowered cards. The issue? They kinda suck at it. Supercell has an issue of either buffing cards that need nerfs, nerfing cards that never needed to be nerfed, and just ignoring cards that need any changes. Sometimes they'll go after the right cards, but it'll be so small that it doesn't even change how annoying some of these cards are. I think there are some reasons for this. Firstly, from what I've heard, Supercell usually uses ranked players and matches as references to make these changes, and if most ranked players are using good cards and winning with them, then those good cards will be nerfed, and if they aren't using certain cards, like boss bandits, then they'll be ignored or buffed. Secondly, Supercell just doesn't play their own game. It shouldn't take you that long to realize that the boss bandit is overpowered and should be nerfed. Hell, the greatest player of all time literally said in the CL World Cup that it should be nerfed.
I think the main thing about the deck is that the boss bandit is really broken and it probably should be nerfed.
On the second level, we talk about matchmaking balances. To give context, matchmaking is literally the algorithm's choice on who I should fight when I queue up a game. Normally it should be balanced, where I go up against an opponent who has a similar skill level to me, along with similar level cards and towers, as to not give anyone an unfair advantage. The issue? This barely ever happens. You'll get matches where you'll fight someone who's over-leveled above you, over-leveled cards, towers, both, that severely impact how your troops interact with their troops. Again, this gives a massive unfair advantage to the other side, making the game worse to play. Lastly, the biggest issue I believe is Supercell's ears to the fans. I believe this issue relates to the previous issues before. Supercell, from what I've seen, does not listen to their fans. We saw the previous issues before about pay-to-wins and balancing issues, and those issues are the same issues that the fan base rightfully criticizes the game for. And what does Supercell do to amend them? Fucking nothing. Updates upon updates, the fan base will complain and Supercell will ignore, to the point in which your die-hard Clash Royale creators even seem to hate the game itself.
Fuck was that conversion rate, Supercell? Huh? Got like 0 gems for that shit. I had max elite wild cards. And what the fuck was that conversion rate?
why?
so
And you know what the
fitting. When the game
funniest
is
thing
ass,
of
what do you
all
call
is
it?
about this
Ass
question
Royale.
is that
When
I
Supercell
asked this
just wants to make a
exact
quick
same
bag, we
question
call it
over
Clash
2
Royale.
years ago
With this
when they
conversion
added
rate of
level
elite wild
15
cards
to the
gems.
game.
You know what that
All
My
the challenges
exact
suck, Goblin
question
Journey
was,
sucks, Clan Wars
have
suck,
they
new
not
cards
learned
always broken, my
anything
This has
clan is
gotta be
dead. What are you to
some
do
sort
at
of
this
man.
point? It's no
I'm
surprise that
riding
many
my
people,
ass off.
including
Do not
OG,
like
have stopped
the
taking Clash Royale
addition
seriously.
of
Same with me. I came to
levels.
Clash in
It was the
2022 when there was
exact
one
same
task, no
reaction
level
in
15, no
2023.
evolutions,
You know,
no
for the longest
territories,
time, I
nine
haven't
points
gotten
paid
that
to
point
win.
right.
Nowadays, Clash Royale is more pay to win than
Like, I
ever, and
completed
they try to make new
exact
changes.
And then they
same
told me
reaction
level
Spend money
16
to
level.
play more Brawl
Anything
Stars.
level
And you want to know what's sad? This can all be solved by just implementing this one tweet. Thank you, Jinxie, for your hard work, and I humbly salute you. The video is basically done now. You don't really need to be here. This is basically an epilogue. As you noticed, if you do care about the channel, I haven't uploaded literally anything since 2024. There's been a full year without videos. That's because this year has been extremely busy for me because of school, and it's not going to get any better next year. In fact, it's going to get worse. So this is probably going to be the last video you'll see for a very long time. Please support the channel, much appreciated, especially since I'm extremely small. I'll see you guys in like in 10 years, if I'm not dead.
My nipples come apart all the time. Thanks for the compliment, Comical Hydra.